summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter snows, with open arms we welcome you, dance with us as power.
Merry meet y'all. It's KK Witchy here. Hope you guys are doing good today. Today's video is going to be about cleansing crystals and stones and gemstones. Well, first of all, this may be a lengthy video because I have a lot to say about it and a lot of information that I want to share and stuff on it. So this may be long, maybe in the middle. I'm not quite sure yet, and I won't know. Like my new shirt I got. See, that on the side note, back to cleansing crystals and stones. There are many, many, many different methods and ways of doing this. For example, the reason that we sometimes feel drawn to a stone, there are situations where we do feel drawn and we pick that up and it don't have very good energy. And a lot of ways that we can do this or get rid of this bad feeling or negative feeling, if that's not what you're looking for, is cleansing your crystals. Now, a lot of healers do this. I am into crystal healing and stone healing, so I do this with my crystals, and I do find it important. Now, different ways that you can do this, a lot of similar ways that I've seen cleansing of stones and crystals is salt method ways, whether it's sea salt or kosher salt or anything like that. Sea salt, I particularly use sea salt, and what I do is I put it in a bowl and stick the crystals in there and let them do by the sunlight or moonlight. Now, water is another particular way, but you have to be very, very careful because it can damage some stones and crystals. Again, it can damage some stones and crystals, and I'll put some of the crystals and stuff that you need to watch when you do use the water method down in the description box. So, rainwater is one way. You can use storm water, rainwater, seawater, spring water, anything of that. But hardly you can use tap water, but a lot of people that I've heard, they like using the natural elements, which that is another way that you can cleanse stones and crystals and gemstones is elements ways, such as hold on. Okay. Fire, you can carefully pass the stone through the flame. Be careful because you don't want it to get all burnt up and damaged and everything. You can pass it through the candle flame several times until you feel that it's been cleaned. The fire will burn away the negativity, but always be very, very careful when dealing with it. You don't want anything to catch on fire, and you don't want it to damage your stone or crystal or gemstone that you may be cleansing. Water, of course, I've told you guys about the water technique that you can do. Earth, you can bury the stone in the ground, such as, for example, if you don't have any kind of earth or anything of that sort, you can actually bury it in a flower pot and do it like that. It can be cleansed that way, and you can bury it into the earth, but make sure you don't forget about it, because I'm going to be honest, I have a very forgetful mind, and I've actually forgotten that I've buried stones before. And when I get into digging something or planting a flower, I found it, and it was I was like, oh, that's, so had a ditzy moment, but I did find it again. So, air, you can smudge the stone all sides with a sage smudge stick or cedar. A lot of people use cedar. Me, I particularly can't use cedar because my mother is allergic to it, and where I still live in her household, I want to be very, very careful what I bring in and what herbs and stuff. So cedar is a definitely no-no in the household right now. But I'm not allergic to it, but Mom is, so I respect, because I don't want to send her to the hospital. So A lot. I don't use just sage though when I smudge things or cleanse things. I use a combination of sage and lavender, usually white sage, but I love using desert sage as well. So, also, you can pass stones or crystals through incenses or an herbal incense, loose incense blends that you made. Another way you can do is you can actually cleanse them by breath and hold the stone to your heart while inhaling and bring the stone to your mouth and exhale the breath onto it. And visualization plays a lot into this because a lot of people imagine a white light and stuff like that. But if you are kind of iffy about taking the stone's energy, like for example, if you have a negative stone and you want to cleanse it, put positivity into it, and you're really, really iffy about doing that method because you're afraid that the negative energy might go into your body, then I recommend doing some of the other ways. But you can do visualization and breath and touch. Touch and visualization play same almost. Plants, you can actually cleanse stones with plants. Place the stone in a flower pot and let the flower kind of take away the negativity and things of that sort. Now, there is a new one that I didn't heard of, so I did do a lot of research on this, and it's Quan's cluster. And what this is you place a stone on a large clear quartz cluster or bag of crystal chips for at least one full day. Clear Quan's is excellent for magnifying, focusing, and this case transmuting energy. So that was interesting because I did not know about that. And down below it, I did find what they call a pyramid method. And what this is you can leave the stone under a glass pyramid for several days. The energy preceded by the pyramid has the ability to neutralize any negative energy that is placed within it. So that is another way that you can do it. Moonlight and sunlight are very, very common. I do recommend on sunlight, though, be careful because sun can damage some stones. They're very, very sensitive to it. So, what is another way? Energy work. I think I've explained this before, and it's where you do a ritual or spell work and purify your object in front of you. It is literally spell work or ritual work, whichever one you want to call it. So you can run through incense and sage. I went through that. Burying your stone, went through that too. Never run when you use water to purify a crystal stone or gemstone. Never put it under hot water because that can damage it as well. And you don't want it to break. So be very, very careful when you do that. Don't ever boil water because you don't want it to damage your stone or crystal or gemstone. Sorry, I keep saying I'm losing my train of thought, and I'm very, very tired, and I'm trying to spit my words out, and they're not coming out. But a lot of people, they really debate on when to cleanse crystals and stones. Me personally, where I do use crystal healing in my practice, I do cleanse them after every healing session that I have with myself or with friends. I do cleanse them after that, and I do cleanse them if they're newly purchased. If I newly bought them, let's just say that. When I buy them, I cleanse them if they don't have a really good positive energy to them. But if they do have positive energies, then I let them be because I really, really like the way they feel. I will even buy things that don't feel good Moonstone. That was the stone that I bought from my spiritual shop. I have a little, you guys heard me talk about this before, but I have a little spiritual shop. I like to go here in town in Tennessee, and all the stuff, they look like they're happy and things like that, but when you get to feeling their stuff, it don't feel good. It really don't. And I love that shop, but again, all the things I get from them don't necessarily feel good. And I don't know why that is. Maybe something else behind that, but that's none of my business. And yeah. So when I get their stuff, I cleanse it like crazy. They hardly ever have any stones there. So another, I'm trying to think, candle smoke. You can let it go through the candle smoke. That's a really, really good way of doing it. And when you feel that the crystal or stone or gemstone is drained and needs to be purified, even if it's within some hours and you feel like it needs to be purified, do it. Do what feels right to you. Again, if you have that gut feeling that it needs to be taken care of and it needs to be cleansed and, put that positivity back, then you do that. You do what feels right to you. Follow your gut instinct. So, what else? How often should you cleanse your stones? Like I said, well, when I use healing crystals, because I am a natural healer, I love to heal, and I love using stones in my practice. So I do cleanse them after every way, and how I do this is if I'm not quite sure how they're going to react to water or moonlight or sunlight, I will put them in sea salt and let them sit there for a while and let the salt handle it. So I do let the sea salt handle it sometimes. For my altar and shrine stones that I have, I kind of go off instinct. Sorry, my computer went to sleep on me. But the altar stones, I kind of follow my gut with that, and whenever that my gut says, hey, they need cleansing, you need to, take care of them and stuff, then I do that. Here's the thing, a lot of people do what is called programming, and if you don't know what that is, that's when you put your intent into a stone and it particularly just does that intent that you program it to do. That's literally what we call programming. For me, I feel like crystals, where they come from the earth and everything like that, I believe that they have their own spirits, if you say they have their own personalities, or at least in my opinion, my experience, they have their own personalities. Like for one, I have it, so they definitely, they have their own personalities. So I don't do the programming. I like letting them help me, and I like my little voice that I have inside my head. It tells me a lot to do with what crystals I should pick, and I'll even do a random crystal drawing, and it's where I let the crystals decide what I should. If I have a particular spell work, I let the crystals decide which one should be used or which one would be best used for it. But yeah, that is basically all I have on cleansing crystals. If you guys want to share how you cleanse crystals and things like that, I'd love to hear about it. If you don't cleanse crystals, that's cool too. Some people don't feel the need to. Again, they feel like it's from the earth and it's already pure. The reason that I cleanse crystals is because that crystals have, I've heard people say that crystals have a really, really good memory, and they can literally remember who they've been with and who they felt and what energies are on them. So that's the reason I feel that it's important to cleanse crystals. But yeah, if you guys would like to share how you cleanse crystals, love to hear about it. And many blessings.